Okay, so I'm in an awkward position right now. It just means that you might also be feeling like in an awkward position right now. You might be like, okay, so this is weird. And each and every time you think of it, you feel like a silent scream within you that wants to come out, and you are stifling it. And that brings tears to your eyes, and you end up being choked up by getting overwhelmed with all these emotions. I don't know who you are, but all this feels like too much of a lump to swallow at one go. And it's like you need to be given small pieces at a time so that you could calmly reflect and acknowledge it all in to really understand the whole issue. So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. So thank you for passing by, and I really appreciate your presence with the family. So, what are we talking about? We are talking about someone who has suspicions and doubts over what they have of their identity, of their family, and wanting to know the truth, but not knowing where you actually need to start from. Because there seems to be a whole vast of signs and things that are just pointing out to you to start revisiting on how you really were, or who you really were. Like there is sort of like a secret that you are meant to know, but there also seems to be like there is a whole of a bunch of people who are trying their level best to keep you away from the truth. And yet, the more effort they portray in trying to keep you away from the truth, the more obvious and revealing their efforts seem to be. And they're just showing themselves out into the light. They no longer seem to be hiding any of what they were trying to hide, and as if it is all coming out into the light. Only for you, it's still not clear as yet, and yet also clear. That is confusing, right? I mean, it's like everyone else in the whole world knows the truth, everyone else but you. You're the only one who does not know. You have an inkling about what it might be, but you're like, nah, no, that's not happening. And it's not like you had gone out of your way to start searching for that truth. It just came to your feet. With their actions towards you, they forced you to go out there and look and search for the truth. They made you more suspicious with how they were going against you. They made themselves even more noticeable by how they were all coming for you just to keep you ignorant of the truth. They were making it more obvious for you to notice all their weird behaviors that were pointing out to what the truth was. Every one of the actions was clear, but what was the real truth? You knew someone was about to pop out the truth, only you still kept observing the theatrical play at work. They tried to gaslight you with, and tried to make you feel as if you were crazy and that there was nothing at all. Even your therapist, maybe, or people who you feel close to, seemed to join the game. And they were all seeming to gaslight you so that you would just give up and surrender to ignorance and not to walk towards the truth. They know the days were numbered, and anytime now the truth was going to come out, and they would all be caught in the act of trying to cover that which was meant for you. They have been doing these plays and games for so long that they have even ended up believing their own lies about what they were doing, and they want you to accept the lies and remain ignorant of the whole truth. However, is that possible? You're one who, when you start something, you can't rest until you finish it, no matter how exhausting it could be. You could take a few rests once in a while, but that does not mean that you have given up on what you are working on. And this aspect of how you are pisses them off. because they attack you with something which normally could knock down anyone else. And yeah, it sort of does knock you out, but God puts you under recovery each and every time. With help and protection, you are helped to stand back on your feet. And once again, you piss them off. Just when they were out there celebrating and partying in groups, being very sure that this time out they really finish you. However, each and every time you get up, that's not the case for them. They can't celebrate and they get pissed off again. God is trying to tell them that the game is not over unless He says that the game was over, and He portrays that out by using you to show them that they should stop what they were doing and surrender to having faith to the Most High who created them. They are to abide to the spiritual laws meant to make life easy for mankind. They are to know that whatever they did, they are surely to get back the same equal feedback like what they had sent out. They are supposed to realize their mistakes and repent to God, the Most High. They ought to know better because God bestowed to them some knowledge that not everyone could get, that they should offer gratitude and make the right of use of what they had been given by God and not misuse their powers. But what do? They think they know better because they allow the negative energies to influence them with illusions, thinking that they will get victory no matter what happens. They think they will get as powerful as their own Creator, who created everything on earth, and they choose to go astray. It is like how you watch a parent with their children. The way when we were babies or toddlers, we thought so much of our parents, believing that nothing could happen as long as our parents were there. And then we grew up and started realizing that our parents were just as much of individuals, just as how much we were. That they also had fears, that they also had feelings and emotions like us, that they also could make mistakes and they were not perfect just like us, that they were human, not like how we thought them to be, like superhuman. And that is what these people who are against you, who hold secrets from you, think about God. They think it's the same thing, so they can be as strong as how He is. God forbid. Because of the little knowledge they gain from God, they think now that they know better and that they could do anything, and they could go to extremes, believing they were entitled to everything, and even that which belongs to you also is theirs, because they think you are lowly compared to them. Because they think you don't have the knowledge that they have. They think you don't know what they know. And yeah, it's true, probably you might not know everything because you're still learning. But don't they think that if God, and of course they don't want to think this, don't they think that God might have also given to you what He gave to them? Isn't that possible? Are we getting worked up? I know I am. If they got to know the truth, isn't it possible that you could also know the truth? And your aim is with God. It's not even for selfish reasons. You are trying to be obedient to God to bring out what God is guiding you to. So isn't it possible that you might also be knowing the very truth that they are trying to hide from you? I mean, they should think about this, because this is just what is choking you. One way or the other, the truth will always come to light. And they're going to be very miserable and regretful as to why they did all that they did from beginning, just to keep you away from the truth, which is your birthright. And victory is always with God. And we are guided to stop here. And I hope that helps someone. I don't know exactly how that would be, but I really hope it clears some of your skepticism about certain things. If there is anything that you are meant to know and you are working for the sake of God, you will always be guided to the truth. Just know that. Just trust the process and forget about the naysayers. So, with much love, have a lovely day and God bless.